Cool. So if you're not driving and your hands are free, I just want to start off, just warm up your hands. Warm up your hands, make sure that they're nice and warm. You can blow into them. Yep. Good. And when they're nice and warm, just go ahead and just gently place them on your face. And just take a nice deep breath. Good. Notice any sensations you felt just from that breath. One more. Good. Now just starting at your temples, just kind of gently massage. Or if your hands are not free, you can just kind of work on tensing up your face and then relaxing it. Good. Work through your temples. Come back to where your eyebrows, the middle of your eyebrows, where they meet your nose. Just taking deep breaths. Work through right here, that big, thick muscle that opens and closes our mouths. Good. Good. Come up through where the nape of your neck is. Good. Shake out your hands. I'm going to do this for a little bit, so just bear with me. If you are experiencing any like tenderness in your joints, you can just kind of, flick a little bit. Just imagine letting tension go in your hands and your fingertips. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Shake, shake, shake. Flick, flick, flick. Breathing. And let it go. Good. Notice the sensations in your hands. Good. So take your shoulders, squeeze them up by your ears. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And relax. Good. Inhale, do the same thing. Squeeze. Exhale, let it go. One more time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And let it go. Very good. Roll your shoulders up and back. Excellent. Find a tolerable position to sit in or whatever you're doing. Good. And just for a second, just notice your breathing. Don't try to control it or anything. Just notice. Notice if your breathing is in your chest. Notice if you're expanding through your back as well. Good. And I want you to think of your belly just extending, opening through the bottom. It's like you're growing taller through the bottom and through the top. Good. Take a deep breath. And let it go. Good. And just come to peaceful state. It's important to try to just breathe through your nose and out your mouth because we're going to start going into some deeper breathing. Let's just really quickly do a body scan. So starting at the top of your head, just notice any tingling, any sensations. Just live through the top of your head for a second. Good, let's move down and be in the back of our eyes. Notice any sensations that are in that space. And all the way down to our throat. Now let's be aware of our shoulders. Good. Through our chest. Any tingling, vibrating, just notice what's there. And into our bellies. Just let them be full. Connect everything we've noticed so far. Let's focus on our upper arms. And all the way down through our fingertips. And our legs. Our thighs. Just let them be open and relaxed and glorious as they are. And through our legs, our shins, our calves, everything that connects them. All the way down to the tips of our toes. Notice any numbness, any buzzing. Good. So now what I want us to do is we're gonna just let all of our air out in a second, and we're gonna breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. And in that time, I want you to, and within those 4 counts, take in all the air that you possibly can, and then on the way out, exhale all the way out. And we're gonna be breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. So let your air out. And breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Good. This time, put both hands on your belly where you're feeling the breath move. And we're going to do 6 this time. So let all your air out and breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. This time, I want you to imagine everything just breathing through your pubic bones, through your pelvic floor, and all of the sensations. So let your air out. We're going to do the 6. Let it out. And breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Breathe normally. You are safe and you are loved, just as you are in this moment. I want you to notice where you've been breathing from and imagine a smile, just living right there, just smiling. Any tingling or sensation, just put your hand where you're feeling it. And the last thing I want to do is just think of the words comfy and confident. What comes to your mind when you think of those words, comfy and confident? What does my life look like when I think of those words? How do I live when I feel comfy and confident in who I am? How do I walk? How do I move through the world? How does my body react? You are safe and you are loved. How does my body react? Good. Take one more deep breath. And exhale and open your eyes or look up. Good. Good, good, good.
I would like to invite us, if you all have your candles with you, is to actually light our candle. Here's where we can bring the presence of our ancestors, of these people that came before us in acknowledgement as we light a candle. This can be our first reflection of opening up this ritual and practice. And I welcome you to place the candle either close to you right now or close to your space where we'll be moving shortly. Keeping the candle lit. And as we move forward, I'd like to also introduce a really important plant. This is juniper, and I'm going to use it today in ceremony because juniper is a really important plant that helps to not only clear a space, but fill it with blessing. And it's a really wonderful plant to use at the beginning of experiences like ceremonies and rituals to invoke a sense of kinship. So I think it also pairs really wonderfully with what we're just sharing with the land acknowledgement. And in addition, this practice of smudging is an ancient practice used by indigenous peoples of the Americas, not only in ceremony, but other rites and practices. And I want to acknowledge the fact that this experience right here, right now, is also something that's been passed down. So as respect, appreciating, acknowledging that this practice has come before us and that we can continue sharing it on this earth together. So I invite you to burn your own bundle if you have. And at this time, we can just think about how we're here together tonight, sharing in this practice and in this space, and we're connecting with our ancestors, not only through land, but through ceremony, through tradition. And just allowing the smoke to, if you have it with you, just allowing it to bring a certain feeling, allowing your sense of smell. If you don't have the smoke with you, just imagine what that would smell like. Juniper is an evergreen, so it's got this beautiful woodsy scent to it. And finally, as a last piece, if there's anything else that you'd like to bring to your own space tonight before we move into ritual, as I shared, I have the small snail shell, but if there's any plant or any piece of nature that you have that's close by and you'd like to bring into your own space tonight before we move into our practice of movement, I welcome you to do so. Okay, so ladies, I'd like to bring us now into the movement piece. I'm going to pause and we're going to edit this. Okay, ladies, So before we move towards our mat for our movement, I'd like us to set a small intention together. So if you'd like to bring your hands together and start to rub your hands against each other. We're going to do this for a minute or so. So you really want to start to create this energy, feel this warmth, thinking about the fire that we just mentioned and that element and what that element invokes to this practice. And as we rub our hands, I want to bring a little bit of an intention into our practice today, and that is thinking about ways that you can nourish your own cycle of growth and transformation, and how we can use the summer solstice, nature, the land, to inform that, to aid us in that. Next, we're going to take our hands, placing one on top of each other and over our heart space. You're welcome to close your eyes if you'd like to, and just take a moment to make a sacred summer wish for yourself. Slowly opening your eyes when you're ready. And gently, with intention, moving yourself towards your mat. So I've asked you all to bring a pillow, or bolster, something to your mat, to your floor, to the earth, to the ground, wherever you are today. And we're going to lay with our backs along the bolster, along the pillow. And I want you to place the base of the pillow just kind of where your low back meets your pelvis. So you want to first have your bum, have your seat on the floor, and then we'll slowly lean back onto the support. You may want to have an extra pillow for your head, perhaps. So this idea of how can the natural rhythms support us, aid us in nourishing our own lives and nourishing the wish that you set out as an intention for your summer solstice, for the summer ahead of us. Taking your hands and placing them on your low belly. And taking a few expansive breaths into this space. In this space, we hold a lot of our understanding. In this space, we have a lot of our true knowing of ourselves, our gut instinct, you could say. So we're going to move through this space today to help support us moving through that intention, to better understand what it is that we need, what it is that we want, our desires, to support us through the season ahead. So with your legs bent and feet placed on the floor, about hip width apart, I want you to first just slowly and gently rock your hips from side to side, just noticing how they feel slightly lower compared to the torso, the rest of the upper body. There's a little bit of gravity that's allowing our pelvis to suspend here towards the floor. We're going to move through a series of hip raises. And I want you to take these really nice and slow and try to think about how you can move slowly through your spine. So first, thinking about your tailbone, which is the base of your spine. You think about slowly starting to tuck your tailbone between the legs and maybe gently push down through both of your feet. And really slowly lifting the hips up off the floor. Maybe continuing to round and flex through your low back and spine. Allowing the low back and spine to peel up away from your pillow or support until you reach maybe your low ribs, and then pause there for a moment. Pushing down through your feet, thinking about the soles of your feet and heels pulling back towards your bum. And then slowly allowing your spine to make contact again with the support. And you're slowly allowing the spine to express down towards the tailbone. And then eventually feeling like the pelvis and the hips continue beyond the support, moving towards the floor. And just noticing how this feels for the pelvis. So there's natural movement and expansion and stretch through the pelvic wall, through the low belly, through the hips. And then I would invite you to move your feet into a different position. So perhaps you want to heel toe your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. And we're going to slowly move into that spinal roll once again. So drawing the tailbone under, thinking about tucking it between the legs as you push through your feet. Engaging through the glute muscles to help round the spine up and extend through the front of the hips. And maybe your spine continues to round until you reach your low rib. And then taking a moment to pause here, just noticing how this position feels for the hips, for the pelvis, the lower part of your body. Maybe taking a slow exhale as you lower, rounding, lowering the spine towards the support, inch by inch. Noticing how this different placement of your legs now is translating through the expression of your pelvis, your pelvic wall, as it sinks slowly down towards the floor. Maybe just taking a nice slow breath here, pausing for a moment. Let's try moving the feet in one last position, different from the first two. So perhaps you want to heel toe your feet together so that the soles of your feet are touching one another. And maybe you'd like to have your legs open to the side. Thinking about pushing into the outer edges of your feet, now tucking the tailbone under. And slowly rounding, flexing through your spine. Inch by inch, it peels away from the support. You're engaging the glutes to support the hips, rising and extending. Pausing for a moment and maybe taking a breath here and understanding how this position is feeling for your body, for the pelvis, for the lower part of your body. And then slowly lowering the spine inch by inch back down towards the support. Allowing the pelvis and hips to sink one last time towards the floor. And in this final position with the feet, giving yourself a moment to understand and experience how this feels. Maybe a slightly different stretch through the pelvic wall. Maybe you want to do some shifting here through the hips. Does the body want to express itself in any way? Taking a nice slow breath in through the nose and out through the nose. If your legs are still apart, you can slowly draw them together. Heel toe the feet so that they're back to hip width apart. Placing the hands back on the low belly. And taking a moment with your inhalation to think about moving the breath down towards your hands. And with the inhalation, can the breath move and expand in towards your hands? Moving the hands towards the sides of your body. Allowing that expansion and expression with breath to move into the hands at the sides of your body. And then perhaps thinking about the back side of your body that's in contact with the support. And can you think about expanding the breath here at the low back? With your inhalation, it gently expands into the support. And with your exhalation, it softens back. Thinking of your breath as this beautiful, full 360 degrees of expansion. Bringing yourself back to that intention. How we can use natural rhythms in life, in nature, to support us in our expression and of our summer wish. And then slowly in your own time, you can gently make your way over onto one side of your body and pushing yourself up into a comfortable seated position. And then once again, we can take our hands and place them on our hearts. Breathing into the low belly. And thinking about how our breath is moving through our body, traveling up to the heart, expanding into our hands, and then cycling back from the hand through the heart, through the body, and out the nose. So I want to thank you both for sharing this practice with me today, for taking the time to acknowledge where you are in your day, in your place, in time, and just allowing yourself to continue naturally expressing your intention, yourself, your full love, your fullness today and for the days ahead. Thank you.
For anyone just joining, welcome. We're here with Elle McPherson, and she's hosting this erotic blueprint classes with us. She's about to lead us into an exercise to better understand our blueprint type. So yeah, go ahead and go for it.
Okay, so if you're comfortable doing so, I invite you to close your eyes and just take a moment to drop in. So you might feel your feet on the floor, your bum in your chair, and bring your awareness to your breath. So you might notice where in your body you feel your breath most strongly in this moment. For some of us, that might be in our belly. Other of us, it might be the chest or the nose. Just taking a moment here to let go of what's happening around you and connect to your internal world. And so as Bree mentioned, I'm going to say some words that are incongruent with the sensual blueprint type, which is really turned on by the sensory experience of sex. So I'll say a couple words and just notice whether your body has any reaction to this, good or bad. So again, we're talking in the sensual language here. So the sensual, perhaps some words for the bedroom that could resonate for someone who's really sensual would be maybe things like retreat or cocoon, snuggle space, cuddle space. Words for expressing turn on or attraction for someone could be things like, I ache for you. Your smell is intoxicating. Your body is a wonderland. Your skin is so smooth. Or words for intercourse might be things like make love, cherish, envelop. You can open your eyes. So maybe that gives you a bit of a flavor of some sensualish wording, right? I didn't say fuck. I didn't say pound, right? But that has a different quality than make love, cherish, envelop, snuggle, right? And so maybe those words that I said didn't do it for you at all. Maybe you're like, oh my God, I would die if my partner said that to me. All right, so the languaging has a different vibe to it.
Yeah, or maybe some words resonated with you and some didn't. I realized at the end that I'm a shapeshifter. So in each one of your exercises that you led us through, there were like certain words that were like, oh, and then certain words that were like, oh, no. So I was like, why am I feel like I resonate with, and then at the end I was like, oh, okay, I understand now, because like I can kind of flow into different blueprint types, and I'm kind of like a culmination of a bit of all of them.
Yeah, and that's an awesome observation, right? So now there's like, hey, I need a little of all of this. So you can kind of like go up to the buffet and pick a little of this, a little column A, a little column B, a little column C.